Folks, and welcome to Phoenix Business Exchange Bell's Corners edition on this fine February 26th. And from what we're understanding from the week that's going to unfold, it's going to be a balmy week relative to February. So, hey, thumbs up. As long as the sun's out there and you're not getting drowned with a lot of extra water, let the maple syrup is starting to run. So, I just want to kind of share some stuff with you. I'm going to share a screen so you can see what is going on inside the Phoenix space. Also, if you're looking to join us on at Phoenix, you can do so. We're at www.pbex.ca. And what pbex.ca, just type in those letters and it'll bring you right to us. And you can find the link to come in on the Zoom. So the Phoenix page is presenting right now. And as I scroll down, hey, the member of the week is Mike. Mike, you're featured front and center. And
Woohoo!
we have 4 chapter meetings that are happening. We have one on it's now 8 a.m. We have another one Wednesday 8 a.m. and also Thursday. So you just click on this and it'll take you right through on Zoom. We also have one in the evening. It's once a month. It's March 5th. So you can come on in and visit us there. And anybody that is a Phoenix member is free to join in on that space. Well, you'll see some stats on the side. You'll see $13,255 in referrals. So that's happened since January. So that's the business activity money transfers that have been happening between members. That's been reported to Tony. And you know what? We are coming close to that point in time where at the end of this month, you can report in and let Tony know what transactions have happened. And that's just between members. Okay. So sorry, my screen moves a little fast on me sometimes with the mouse. So since 2016, over $4.5 million worth of transactions have transpired. So that's a dollar value of 4.5. It happened since 2016. We have also e-cards. You'll notice on my upper right-hand corner or one corner of me, you'll see a QR code. We have e-cards, and that's designed to help make it a little less friction to having people being able to reach you and store their information in their contacts in their files. I scooted past here. East Trade Winds has a meeting tomorrow at 8 a.m. Everybody's welcome. Then we have Hatha Yoga, and that's with the lovely Jacqueline Richards, and she'll help get you harmonized. We have a mix and mingle at Kogear Colonel By for March 26, 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then Penny Lee's got a whole bunch of moving to heal classes that are up and coming. So if you're not doing the yoga, you can also do stuff with Penny Lee to get your body moving. Tony's got a spirit group reading on March 27th, Feng Shui class on March 1st. Hey, that's coming up real soon. QR directory for all Phoenix members. So if you need to find somebody that has something in our group, and it covers everything from the tech side to the accounting side, the real estate side, the mortgage side, and I keep on going. But there's a fair number of resources in here. And if you're watching and you're not part of Phoenix, this is your opportunity to join the crew here and be a part of a resource. And top books to read. Let's stop my share here. Bear with me. Get rid of that. There we go. We also had 86 BAMs. And you go, BAM? Or who's getting hit on the head? No one. It's a business activity meeting. That's where we get to meet each other and dialogue and find out what's going on in your business sector. And, it helps us then do those referrals. And then if we come across somebody, go, hey, I know somebody that can help you out. And so we've covered most of that stuff. So we're going to swing over to the educational minute. And Tony, over to you, sir.
Well, thank you very much, Bernie. Something I wanted to divulge to the group is that recently I've heard of a scam going around, and it's with these QR. It's a QR scam. It's very similar to the one I have behind me. The way that these scammers are now working is that they're putting their fake QRs on the back of the seat in ball games, other events, so that when you scan it, it goes right to a sales page. And it looks just like Amazon, looks just like whatever, any way that you could go in there and put in your credit card and stuff like that. So just a heads up, when you scan QR something, scan something, and you scam something, You want to know where it's going to go, and if it goes to a page like and it's like an information page, like Lana, she would have her information on there and so on. More than likely, that would be legit. I mean, that's obvious. What the scammers are looking for is your credit card, so it would go right onto a sales page. Now, if you did let's say get onto that page or whatever, as a rule, what I do is that I'll put in a credit card, but I'll put the numbers in wrong because the thing is, you're not making a sale. All the scammers want is your number, your expiry date, and of course your CVV thing, your code. So I'll put it in wrong, and then it'll say authorized. I know it's a scam, right? And Because I know it's not right. It's not the right number. I'll put the wrong CVV and I'll put the wrong expiry. And if it's still authorized, okay, there's something wrong there. If it says that it wasn't going through, that's fine. Then I'll put it in again because sometimes they'll say there might be a smart person out there that'll put it, and I'll put their number in wrong again. And then the second time it'll say, "Hey, it's approved." Anyway, in that way, it's a good way to sort of protect yourself with that. But it's yeah. So just be careful of some of the ones that are doing the QR thing because it's a great way. Even you could take a legitimate sign and they'll put a white sticker over top of it. So if you are in a store and you notice that a printed sign would always have a printed QR. I mean, that's the way printing goes, right? They will never print something and then put a sticker over top of that. Well, that's just dumb. You want to get all this done in once. But if you notice there's a printed sign and there's a sticker over top of it, that makes no printing sense, right? So more than likely, if you scan that, just be careful what you're pressing, what you're going around with, okay? More than likely, 70% of the time, of course, almost all the time, if you're shopping, you'll have your phone on you. So a good majority of the systems is they want to get through it through your phone. So just be very vigilant because we are doing banking on our phones. We're paying for car washes on our phone. I just did that the other day. We do a lot of things with our phones. So as long as it's the same rule applies as if something comes in that you don't know where it's coming from. You look at the address, and one of the problems with the phone is you can't really see the address as you can on a computer. On a computer, you could say that it's whatever coming from Australia. Well, it's a Canadian product, so it's more than likely wouldn't be in Australia. But on a phone, it's more difficult. You can't see the full address. You can see part of it. And one way that you could do that is that you could just put your finger on the address until it turns blue, copy it, and then put it on a notepad. Everyone has sort of a notepad on their phone, and just put it on there, and you just do a cut or copy and paste, and then you could see the whole thing in the notepad. That's one trick that you can do. And if it doesn't go anywhere, it's all just a bunch of jumbled numbers and so on. Chances are it's not going where you're supposed to go. Or one of the other trick is they'll reverse one of the numbers. Like let's say it's higher self, they'll put the R and the E switched, and it'll look like higher self, sort of thing. And so just watch the spelling. The other thing that I heard the other day is that they're changing the font. There's two kinds of A's. There's the A with the circle and then the stick, but then there's the amper size A. And those are two different fonts. So although it looks like it's Amazon, look at the way that the font of the A is, because it's the other A, because there's two A's in Amazon. And and when you look at it, okay, that's not the right A font for a normal rich text. Okay. So they're getting very clever, and we have to sort of keep up with this. So just a note: when you're using your QR and you're going onto a sales page, just be careful what you're pressing. And as I said, try to put your credit card in incorrectly, and then if it authorizes, then you know it's a scam. Okay, back to you, Bernie.
Tony, thank you very much. And I guess the best way is if you find say a hot dog on the ground, would you eat it? No, everything's in context. Everything's always in context.
Is it
So
Oktoberfest?
Yeah, that would be a pint of beer then. If it's sitting there by itself, you just don't know what that yellow fluid's all about. And we'll swing over to do our quick introductions, and I will start off with Lana, and then go to Shane. Lana, over to you, ma'am.
Good morning, everyone. My name's Lana Burnley, and I am a realtor and have been a realtor for the past 23 years, but I do not consider myself a sales rep. I'm more of a matchmaker. And being a matchmaker, I find people for your house. And when I have your house for sale, it's about targeting the right market. For an example, you for a large, let's say $1 million, 5 bedroom, 4 bathroom home, you're not targeting a couple or a young couple, you're targeting a family. And that's all about how we write our descriptions and where we have our advertising. No, it's being more of a matchmaker. And when we're doing matchmaking, it's all about who you need and what you need to get your house ready for sale, and who the buyers you're bringing in, or the buyers to the house. So I'm Lana Burnley. I'm Solid Rock Realty, a realtor for 23 years. And I had a great bam with Alex's wife, Isabel, last week.
Lana, thank you so much. And just before I go too much further and start with Shane, here is our LinkedIn Live post. So please post your contact details and or things that are coming up that you want to relate to anybody and everybody. Shane, over to you, sir.
Hey guys, Dr. Shane Bayless here, Production Health and Performance. I'm the chiro for the aches and pains and things. Just to let you know, I do put stickers on my little snacks in my office. It is not fake QR codes. It's the real deal. Okay, they're just for Google reviews for people that enjoy the services that we provide. On the weekend, I did a concussion baseline slash just concussion information seminar at our office. We had some equine people attend. So people doing horseback riding, all that different dressage, jumping, eventing, all those people were coming in. They had a great response from them. And I've extended an invitation for them to have a discounted baseline test. It usually takes about 45 minutes to an hour. And I'm including the online cognitive test, which is usually about $10 to $20 on average, for them to come in because they attended the seminar. I will reach it out to you guys as well. So if you have anybody that wants to come in for a baseline test for concussion, so you know what, if you do get one, we know where your averages were and where you should be at, so we can get you back to those baselines. It really helps out for knowing your weaknesses and your strengths, as well as giving you guided exercise later if you are having weaknesses to begin with. Anyways, that's what we've been doing on the weekend. So I will give that to everybody for $85 rather than the $100 we usually charge. It's 15% discount. So hopefully that entices anybody that you might think might benefit for this, or even an athlete, a student, a hockey player, soccer player, cheerleader, anything like that. Those are people that we kind of treat and are good referrals for us. So I'm Dr. Shane Bayless, Production Health and Performance. Remember, when we're looking at a clinic, we're looking at people that get results. And that's what we do. We see results. All right, guys, take care. Bye for now.
Shane, quick question. Do you need a doctor's certificate or a doctor's referral to come get you? Or
no, it'll still be under chiropractic because I'm a chiropractor. If you do see anyone else in our clinic, it'll be under what their licensure is. So if they're a chiropractor, if they're a physiotherapist, that's the type of thing that will be billed underneath your insurance. If you want to claim that, if you have private insurance, some people don't, so that's okay as well. But yes, and you do not need a doctor's referral note to come see us. We're primary care physicians, so not a problem with that.
Shane, thank you so much. And we're going to swing over to Eric and then Josh. Eric, go ahead and welcome back, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. It was a great holiday, and it was culture shock when I got back. That's all I can say. Eric Senego from the accounting firm of Eric Senego Professional Group. We bring reason to numbers and numbers to reason, and we do that one client at a time. Everything else is in the chat line.
Eric, thank you so much. And I guess no BAMs, right? You were having a culture shock. That was your only BAM.
Yes.
Josh, over to you, sir.
Morning, folks. I'm Josh Lamb with Sterling Grace Tech. We're your one-stop shop for all of your IT needs. We're based in Eastern Ontario, but can remotely service companies throughout Canada and the United States. So a half of what we do is manage tech support. That means if you have a problem with your server, if it has a disaster and a critical part of it crashes, we're there the next morning or even overnight to do a restore and get you back in business so that you don't lose out on a whole office being offline. We had one of those happen last week, actually, and we were able to, it took about 4 hours, but we got them back going 100%. And so we have to look at disaster recovery, we have to look at backups, and we have to look at making sure that the technology that you do have is super reliable and stands up to failures. And so that's one half of what we do. And then the other half is web development and software development. And yeah, that's basically taking a look at your public face on the internet and making sure that your customers can reach you and that everything is working, that you're optimized for Google so people can find you, and then all the rest that's involved in getting your customer sold a product online in an automated process that makes their lives really easy and makes your life easy because their life is easy. So if you want a technology solution that'll stop costing you money and start making you money, give me a call. Josh Lamb, Sterling Grace Tech. Thanks.
Josh, thank you so much. And we're going to go Dwight, Sam, and Richard. Dwight, over to you, sir.
Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yep, you're.
Good. Good morning, everyone. I'm Dwight from Taste Sweet Light Catering. We specialize in creating vegan Caribbean foods. We've been doing this now for the past 7+ years, and we've been doing, I guess, a good job because we've been at the market this past year, and we're just getting ready to kick off the 2024 season this coming, or 2 weeks from now, March 9th, and we'll be back at the market in Lansdowne every 2 weeks, just creating additional or new and improved meals for everyone, and just making sure everyone enjoy it on a consistent basis. Last week we were out at PBX Mix and Mingle, catering for the evening, and we had a meeting also with, well, not a meeting, but a touch base with Ima. She's looking to create some branding for us and get us on the road for 2024. So we've been pretty busy back at it, coming off the 3 weeks at Trinidad and Tobago. It was a culture shock, like Eric, coming back to this weather. So we're just trying to get back into the swing of everything. And so far it's been pretty busy moving forward. So that's it. I don't have anything for the coming week thus far.
Dwight, thank you so much. Sam, over to you, sir.
Thank you, Bernie. Good morning, everyone. Sam Soros, connectedcars.ca. There's my contact information in the chat. Well, I mean, everybody should know what I do, especially dash cameras like this one here. Great device in your car, can protect your car by recording everything when you're driving, and even protect your car with a hit and run in the parking lot when your car is off. If you're interested in something like that, let me know. I also do minor repairs, oil changes, brake jobs, and well, the weather is getting a little warmer this week, and I think even Tony mentioned that he had his car washed. Like, your car looks like mine with these white salt stains all over them. You might want to be doing that this week because that salt is going to get really active and the temperature is getting warmer. So I recommend that you even just get at least the little bit of that off to protect your car from rusting away quickly in this spring. Things going on. Well, last week, Bernie came over, brought his wife's vehicle to me, had some muffler issue. I diagnosed it as an internal issue to the muffler and gave him some references to get it done. Hopefully he'll take care of that in the next little while, so his wife will be happy. Happy wife, happy life, right, Bernie?
Yippers.
Last week, as Dwight mentioned, Dwight Nicole catered Wendy's event that she had the Mix and Mingle. I was there, Tony was there, Lana was there, and of course Dwight and Nicole were there, and I enjoyed their bean dish, and I'm still waiting for the recipe there, Dwight. Anyway, if you wouldn't mind sending that to me, I'm very interested. So that's it for me from last week, and carry on. Sam Stewart, connectedcars.ca, today's mobile electronics without the cost of a new vehicle and a heck of a lot more.
Dan, thank you so much. Richard, over to you, sir.
Good morning, all. I'm Richard Crossman, Canadian voice actor working with businesses to improve their brand, marketing, and online presence so you stand out in a crowd. Are you looking for a smooth, sultry, hypnotic voice to pull your customers in to hear your message? Are you looking for excitement to build anticipation of your products and services? Are you looking for something quirky that your potential clients will remember? I provide voiceover for business explainers, social media promotional videos, telephone answering systems, staff training videos. Perhaps you are looking for a website narration, or maybe you're looking for an audiobook narrator. Are you hosting an event that needs a voice of God announcer? Or perhaps someone who can explain how zolbetuximab relates to gastroesophageal junction adenocarcinoma? I work with animation experts in the UK and North America to offer motion graphics and video packages to help you reach out to your clients. My contact is in the chat. Let's connect and set up a one-to-one to see how I can help your business. And I had a fabulous one-to-one with Bernie last week.
Richard, thank you so much. Tony, over to you. Top that, by the way, the linguistic side.
Oh, I can't top that with Richard. That's amazing, Richard. I love when you come in. By the way, just as a side note, Dwight, my daughter-in-law and my wife love you. Whenever I come back from the mix and mingle, did you bring me anything? Any kind of leftovers? Anyway, hi everybody. Tony Jennis from Higher Self. I'm the spirit guy of the group. In China, when they look at their home, it's not just four walls. It's not just a dwelling. It's a matrix of their lifestyle. When they look at a home, when they, especially when they're shopping in this country and they're looking at very specific things, do you wonder why when they look at a home and the stairs are going in the wrong direction, while they'll just turn around and they won't buy the home? I'm going to cover this and more in my feng shui class coming up on the end of March. The March 30th will be an intense 7 hours of the introduction to feng shui. It's a vast topic. And we're going to talk about the basics, how you can buy a home that will improve your relationship, how you can buy a home that will have good money things coming in for you. So if you want to sign up or if you want to get more information, I have it in the chat. Tony Jennis from Higher Self, where we are here to raise your spirits.
Any BAMs, Tony?
Yes, I got quite a bit. I did a BAM with Cindy and Lana. I have a great testimonial for her. Thank you, Lana, for everything that you did. I mean, when we had chatted, you gave me a few ideas on in the last workshop that we're going to change some things on. So thank you for engaging in that. And also a quick testimonial for Josh. I had some issues going with my website, and it just wasn't doing things. And the e-card we had a problem with that. It was one part that people wanted to text in, and I showed it to him. I says, I don't know if this is something that you'll do. And literally within 5 minutes, he found a problem, and I passed that on to the tech support of our e-card supplier. So thanks a lot, Josh, for that. It's amazing to have someone in your corner that way. I had a BAM with Deirdre, Penny Lee, and ongoing business, of course, with Josh. He's still working on our website and some other stuff. Kat, ongoing business with her, and Eric is doing our taxes, and Dwight, we're looking forward to doing more with your catering. So thanks a lot for that. So send out the invoice whenever you have a chance there, bud. And that's about it for me. Other than that, I did nothing.
Tony, thank you so much. So my name is Bernie. So what do? I'm a business concierge. I connect businesses. I pair them up and try to find good matches. You'll see in the chat my contact details. East Trade Winds Tuesday, free to attend. If you got a business, come on in. Whether you're part of Phoenix or otherwise, you're welcome to come into that space. Knack for Business podcast. That's talking to different business owners. And in fact, almost like be a part BAM. Actually, it was a BAM and a podcast recording with Josh on Friday. We talked about more tech awareness and tech knowledge. And then there's the Property Wizard podcast, which I'm on. It's about commercial real estate and understanding that space. And then we also have another event that's coming up. It's actually this afternoon around 3 p.m. Free to attend for all our members. And it's not East Trade Winds, it's the World Referral Network. So World Referral Network, and there's an East Trade Winds chapter here in Ontario. So that's where that all kind of fits in. And there's guest speakers coming in. Good place to meet, hear some new knowledge, get some cross contacts, and develop your knowledge base. So, BAMS. Well, let's see. Mike and Tony and I, we were talking about golf, and so we're squaring that off. Then did a referral for Tony. I'm just reading my notes here. So, Tony and Steve, and then I already talked about Josh. Did 3 intros for Josh. I took Carl's course. Sam already mentioned about being muffled and not muffling, so I can't muffle the misses. All joking aside, so that really helped. And Richard and I had a chat. So without much more ado, we're going to swing over to the hammer Mike. And Mike, go ahead, sir.
Great. Thank you, Bernie. Morning, everybody. I hope everybody's doing well and enjoyed the beautiful little snowfall we had this morning. My God, it looked just gorgeous out there. Like Eric, I just got back from vacation. Had a nice 10-day cruise down in the Caribbean, and it was quite a culture shock getting back for sure for me too. So a little bit of a background on myself. I'll go very quickly through this. So I'm Mike, I'm born and raised in Ottawa. I live currently around the Manotick area. I'm married to my wife actually tomorrow, 37 years. And I have 3 wonderful children, very respectful, all young adults out there carving out their life. I like golf. I play a lot of it. And I like fishing. I like outdoor walks, nature, really commune with nature. And yeah, life is good. And I try to live at the best of my abilities all the time. I try to be very conscious and aware of and have gratitude of every moment, including this one, except with Sam. I mean, you can only go so far. But yeah, no, life is good. So my career is basically in a nutshell. When I came out of high school, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I like cars. I was always into the auto mechanics and the auto body in high school. So one day in my customized van, I flipped a coin, and tails would go to automotive, and heads would go to the body shop, and was head. So I saw a body shop just down the road from where I flipped the coin, went down, asked them for a job, started sweeping the floor as an apprentice. A few years later, ended up buying the place. Had a partner, and we ran that collision shop for 23 years. During that 23 years, it's a very volatile industry, but it served us well, paid the mortgage and everything else that my wife and I wanted to do in life. And during that time, we were living in Greeley. We had the ice storm that came along in 1999, affected with 14 days without power. Listened to the radio, so many good people doing good things. And I just, my parents brought me up the right way and all that. I just wanted to do more for the community. So I started reaching out and poking around, seeing where I could lend my hand while I was running the collision shop and raising 3 young children with my wife. And I came across a lady, and me and her and 2 other people started the Make-A-Wish Foundation of Eastern Ontario. Make-A-Wish was a worldwide organization, but it wasn't represented in Eastern Ontario. So you know what? We started it off. We were all volunteers. There were 9 of us. And we ran that for a few years till 2006. While I was still running the collision shop, I would be the chair of the board and main fundraiser and so on. And we used to raise around $150,000 to $200,000 a year for the kiddies that had life-threatening illnesses and terminal illnesses, to give them their wish. And was really, really cool, really nice. But in 2006, what happened was there were so many, our awareness was really, really going well. There were so many wishes that the kids that wanted their wishes, these wishes averaged around $10,000 a piece. And it was just too much for all our volunteers to do it. So we decided in 2006 from 1999 to start the office of Make-A-Wish Eastern Ontario. So I went to my wife, long story short, and said, listen, you know what? I want to throw my hat in the ring, be the executive director for this and run that group because I love it. She said, yeah, you should do it, but you know, we have a small problem. We still have mortgages, this and that. Make-A-Wish will pay half compared to what the collision shop does, because I was going to sell my collision shop to my partner. Long story short there, I figured out a way that I could keep a contract at the collision shop, the Federal Express, because it was done on the weekends. My partner didn't want to work weekends. Sold in the shop, kept the contract, and for 7 years, about 30 to 40 weekends a year, I did Federal Express. Why I was doing Make-A-Wish, and that's how I could afford to do Make-A-Wish. After a while, the money's went up. Currently, at that time, I retired 17 years later. Currently, we're raising around 1.2 to 1.4 million dollars a year annually for the kiddies, and it was a wonderful career. So on retirement of Make-A-Wish, I was looking for something to do. I love community. In that time while I was running Make-A-Wish, I also started with a good friend of mine, the owner of the Metcalf Golf Course, Rob Howell, be playing it forward for wishes. Basically, we're all volunteers, and what we do is we teach the kids to pay it forward by playing it forward, and we raise some monies doing that. We do it through different types of golf events and kiddie events and all those types of things, loonies for birthday parties, you name it. Whatever we could do, but the main mandate was to teach the kids to pay it forward in their lives because they had it really, really well. And we started that in 2014. The 8 of us that started it, we're all volunteers. We're still all together, and we're currently over $400,000 that we've raised since 2014 for community organizations like Make-A-Wish, food covers, women's shelters, you name it. There's just a plethora of outreach programs that we've supported throughout all those years. Still looking for something to do in the community. I love coaching. I've taken over 200 hours formal with a master coach, which is one of the very few in Canada. And we're dear friends. And I wrote a coaching program for myself to help me get out of the weeds sometimes. And I wrote it and finished it just before COVID. It's called Full Stride. And again, I wrote it for myself, and it worked really well. It just finished it before COVID. I sailed through COVID like everybody. I get life experiences where you get curveballs or whatever. I get them, I deal with them emotionally quickly, and I get rid of them and done or what have you. So it's really helped me. So I wanted to start to help other people through this coaching program. And basically and essentially what I do there is I help people surpass the understanding of what they have of themselves. Most people identify themselves with their ego, what they have, what they've accumulated. I got my car, I got this job, I'm a father, I'm a mother, I make this much money or what have you. That's what they identify with. And that's where fear and suffering starts, is an identification with your ego. If you can put that to the side or whatever, you will mitigate or get rid of fear of suffering altogether. And I know it's a big statement, but believe me, it's true. It works. I have testimonials. It works for myself. My coaching program at the end of even the 5 modules, they can get coached on anything that they want. But if they follow my 5 modules, do a little bit of practice, they will eliminate that fear, because I separate who they essentially are from their mind and give them a little space there. And I separate them from their body and give them a little space there. In that knowing, and when you are there with a little bit of practice or what have you, you can park the ego to some degree, almost eliminate it completely. Very hard to do that 100%. It always comes back because that's what ego is. And in the spiritual realm, if you take a look at ego, it's basically edging God out. And I'm not practicing preaching on God or what have you, because I believe in the universe. I believe in Buddha, God, Jesus talks, what have you. Gandhi said it best, that there's truth in all religion, and there's a common thread through it all. So all my research is done on a bedrock of science, which means it can't be disputed. There's no way. And so yeah, somebody that's a little out of sorts and wants another little clarification, a little bit more clear path in their life or what have you, I have a program that can help them possibly navigate that. That would be a good referral. Also, too, with the We Care Focus, back to the collision shop very quickly. That's when I started We Care Focus. We Care Focus is a distracted driving. I teach individuals the financial ramifications, the emotional consequences if they don't focus at the task at hand while they're driving. And I came up this with the body shop, and how that happened was my customers would come in over the years, and I'd sit there and I'd go, "What's wrong with you?" I'd see them looking at them at their physiology, and they'd be going, "Oh, Cindy Lou's starting to drive, or Bobby's starting to drive, and really worried, blah, blah, blah." And I would say, "Well, you know what? Bring them by. Let's get a few of their friends and bring them by, and I'm going to show you a few accidents in the body shop and show you how much it cost or whatever. Maybe that's enough to make them think so that they can slow down." And then from that it developed, and then at Park We Care Focus when I ran Make-A-Wish, and then brought it back out in the community. So essentially what I've done a lot of sessions, face-to-face, one-on-ones, community programs, but essentially what I've written is I've written a 50-page resource guide, We Care Folks resource guide, great guide, under $20. It's under $20. And it's great to send to, hey, you know what, a new driver or a driver that's complacent with their driving habits. I mean, I talk to drivers, even seasoned drivers like us, that are just like, "Oh yeah, well I can blah, blah, blah." It's all a form of gambling. Sooner or later, it's a matter of time. When something happens, and that's okay. So you get away with this tax, you get away with that tax, you get away with the tax. You accumulated all this. Your business is running good. You got a great family. You got this. You send a text to see what's for supper tonight, and you hit Mrs. Jones pushing a baby carriage across the road in a Main Street Manatee. Well, your life has changed. And I've been on the Collision Eastern Ontario board for 11 years at that time when I had the collision shop. And I got to tell you, I hear stories, some I wish I've never heard, but the rock and roll change your life on a dime or whatever. So you're rolling the dice. You know what? Yeah, I'll get away with this and I'll get away with that. I'll speed, I'll do this, I'll go a little fast on the snowy roads, what have you. Good for you. Have at it. What's it to me? As long as you don't hit me or any of my loved ones, or actually, you expand that anyway, because you're taking not only your life but a third party's life in your hands. Injuries and things that I've seen or whatever. So this reference guide is great. It could be something like, "Hey, my son's starting to smoke pot and he's driving. What are the ramifications?" Boom, it's there. There's a whole category on that. "Hey, I tore the bumper cover off. What are the financial ramifications? Insurance guide." Boom, it's there. Anything you could think of as far as distracted driving is in this resource guide. Perfect place just to point. If you read it all, I guarantee you're going to pick up you're going to pick up, I think, lots. But even if you pick up one insight to apply to your current driving habit that will improve it and mitigate the chances of you causing an at-fault accident. An at-fault accident is an accident you caused yourself, or an injury, or whatever. It's well worth it. So good referral there, under $20. Send it to somebody for, I don't know, because you care. Hey, I was thinking of your family or whatever, or I know this guy and he's in my networking group. I thought I'd give you to this. It's like a little book or what have you, a manual, a resource guide. It's something to all the penalties, all the best websites, videos, self-made videos, which I laugh at, but there's some of them I was pretty proud of, very creative. But anyway, that would also be a good referral for me. So that's me in a nutshell.
Mike, thank you so much. So, folks, does anybody have a question about car repairs, We Care Focus?
Actually, I have one statement there. It's not only when we're not paying attention and texting when we're on the road. It's sometimes with us. You're texting, you've stopped, and you just get out of the car, and the oncoming car takes off your door. I heard about that this weekend, where a guy was texting, he was so busy, he didn't look where he is. He's on a main street, and you're thinking, of course a car is going to come, and you just open it just like that. And I, heaven forbid, if a good thing was the time of year where it's winter, it could have been a motorcycle, and that would be devastating. Like I'm riding a bike, and oh my God, a door would certainly take a big bike down, So yeah, your message, Mike, is very very prevalent, but it's
So
also
Tony,
just being
Tony,
aware.
to build on what you're saying, the world going hell in a handbasket. I mean, we've got the Hamas war, the Ukraine war, COVID, new viruses, this, that, or what have you. I mean, we have lots on our mind. So when you get in a car in a perfect world, if it's perfect weather and you're focused 100% of the time, you'll never cause an at-fault accident. End of story. It's a fact. But it's hard to focus. It's even hard to focus for me. And I teach this stuff. I train on this subject because there's just so much going on. But we have to be consciously aware of what we're doing at the task at hand. I mean, we're hurdling this, 2,000, 3,000 pound vehicle down the road, and it's four bottom of the tires that are sticking us to the road. That's it. Yeah, we need to be aware of what we're doing when our hands are on that steering wheel, especially with the peer pressure, this, whatever. But back to the texting, I mean, I'm starting to piss off a lot of people or what have you, because people are, oh yeah, well, I text, I've texted for a while, and I have done this and I've done that, and it's never really a lot. And I go, okay. Let's say, okay, let's say that you will text for the rest of your life while you're driving and you never cause an accident. You know what that tells me, sir or ma'am? They go, what's that? I go, texting's against the law. You're breaking the law. Seem to be proud of it. Makes me wonder what else you do.
Mike, that's a very good point, because I find that with Android Auto and it connects to your screen, like they've got these big screens now in the newer cars.
Yeah.
And it's almost encouraging you to be distracted, I find, because I can automatically text in my car. It picks up phone calls in my car. What do you think of that? Like I feel like I'm being encouraged.
I agree with you 100%. It's all very, very distracting for sure, Lana. The thing is if you're just driving along in the old days and you don't have one of those big screens, and you take a look and you get a text notification, okay, ding, and you just look down. You don't pick it up. You don't pick up the phone. You don't reply. You just read the notification. Hi, it's Mike. How are you doing, Lana? Okay. Then when you look up, that took you 4 seconds. So when you're driving down the Queensway at 100 kilometers an hour, at 4 seconds, you just traveled a football field, okay, without looking. So if I was in your car and I was a passenger and you were driving down the Queensway at 100 kilometers an hour, I said, hey, Lana, I'm kind of bored here as the passenger. Why don't we play a game? As you're driving here, I'm going to blindfold you for 4 seconds and I want to see how you do. You're going to think I'm an idiot. But yet there's so many people. And then on top of that, they pick up and reply.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's crazy. So these distractions, I got Bluetooth, I got this, I got that. Oh yeah, okay. Let me ask you a question. You're driving down the Queensway, it's heavy traffic. Customer calls you. Not happy at all. Your boss calls you, irate. Your spouse calls you. Big fight. While you're driving the car. Now you got your two hands on the steering wheel, all you're doing is listening to them or whatever, but you're getting into a real big argument on the phone, driving down the Queensway. How focused are you driving at the task at hand? Human beings can only think of one thing at a time. So whether you think of driving or not. So that's the thing about the Bluetooth. Oh yeah, I got hands-free or what have you. Yeah, great. By going, hi, got your message, I'll call you later. Or hey, Dwight, thanks for calling, man. I'm driving or whatever. I'll give you a call when I'm parked or whatever. Everybody understands that and respects that. It's not a thing or what have you. But if you get into a big argument, believe me, you're not focused at the task at hand.
I noticed when I called Lana one time, a text message came back and says, I'm driving, so I'm unable to answer right now. I think that's great.
That is a very good policy, because when you got
that
that reply, Tony, you're like, okay, wow, that's great. You know what I mean? Those are the people you want driving on the road when you're driving your motorcycle.
Yeah.
Those are the type of people you want on you. right? You know, so
And the other thing I've been noticing is the odd time when my son leaves to go home, I know he's on his way home, and I said, "Oh, I have to talk to him about something." So about 10 minutes after, because it takes about 25 minutes for him to get home, but 10 minutes after, I was about to text him, and I realized, hey, wait a second, that means he's going to be. I know he's still en route, so I'm texting him, and he's going to be looking at his phone. So,
or
so then I'll
possibly,
wait.
yes. Yeah.
And that was a weird thing. I says, "Oh, what? Okay." Sometimes just being aware of where people might be if they're just leaving.
There are a zillion stories like that, Tony. Imagine, God forbid that you know, you texted him and then after that you don't hear anything, and then later on you find out he's in an accident, he's in, you know, injury, things like that, lost his
Yeah,
life, and then you wonder for the guilt if your text was a part of that.
yeah, yeah. Exactly,
You know, and,
exactly.
and there's a zillion stories like that. It's
Yeah.
it's incredible. The guilt, the guilt, the guilt. People are just like rolling the dice,
Hello.
gamblers. It's
Hello.
their, you know, so
Yeah, the other thing I've noticed, and I think Sam can attest to this, is that the cars have technology has really changed. It now has auto brakes. Is if you're in going along, it will actually signal you if the scanning thing realizes that you're coming up too fast. My car beeps now. And I said, okay, I've got it, sort of thing. But if I'm on cruise, it will self-adjust the speed based on the car in front of me.
yeah, a lot
So
of lot of safety,
a lot of safety,
features
but
nowadays. But keep in mind one thing. Let's say, for instance, I have two cars. One of the cars has all these safety features. The other car is an older car, has nothing except for signal lights, right? So you get accustomed to the safety features. So when you're changing lanes or what have you, you know, you used to blind check and really look over your shoulder to see if there was a car. But with these safety ones, you kind of do that quick little nod because you kind of get used to it, right? Because you put your signal light on. If there is anybody there, you hear the warning. You don't pull over into that lane. But then you get into the older car, okay, and you're driving along, and you have to be really conscious that you have to do a full shoulder check
yeah,
before you
yeah,
change lanes because
yeah,
you're almost conditioned if you drive the other car a lot too or whatever. So safety features are great. I mean, they automatic this, that, what have you. When it comes to self-driving and all this kind of stuff, the verdict's still out on that one for me, because I have done some research in it and pretty cool. I mean, I imagine it's going to get there, but I don't know. I like to have control. I like to have my hands on the steering wheel and
yeah,
foot in the gas like that. But also too, just want to attest to back to dash cams. In the collision industry, there was so many accidents. Oh, deer ran out in front of me, but I was lucky I missed it, but I went into the ditch and it caused some damage. Oh yeah, prove that there was a deer. Well, I can't because I don't know. Okay, it's an at-fault accident. Hey, I was going through the parking lot and somebody hit me and took off or what have you, or my car was parked or whatever, all this like that. Yeah, prove it. You don't prove it like that. These dash cams are undisputable. Here it is. It's an insurance claim. It goes through. You're a done deal. So very, very good. Plus, also too for the younger ones, because lot of females, especially younger ones, new drivers or what have you, they're intimidated, like all new drivers, male and female, but they're intimidated. What happens is there's a lot of aggression out of a lot of fear as far as road rage, and something happens and they see it's a young little new driver, they can come out and intimidate them so quick, so fast, or whatever, take off, and they're just like, oh my God, now I have to call dad and say, you know, the car smashed on the right fender or what have you, and I had nothing to do with it, all on the panic or what have you. Dash cam, dash cam, dash cam. You know what I mean? All that kind of stuff or whatever captures all that information and can give parents a peace of mind. Plus, also too for the young drivers that are out there that I don't know, I say are little difficult children as you raise them, and but you know they want to drive, And so 16, 17, 18-year-olds, so they get their car and they go or what have you. Dash cam is a very, very good way to monitor their performance behind the steering wheel. Big time. Because you hear these, you ever, hands up, you ever hear these radio announcements or TV announcements about these speeders every second, third, fourth day, 180 kilometers down here. Just Line Bank, where I live near Manotick or whatever, is 60 kilometers, was 140 or something like that. All young kids, you know what I mean? And zillions of stories, even here in Ottawa. I'll just end with this. A man that was always texting in Ottawa was texting just before Christmas or what have you. And a mishap happened and he lost his life because he was texting. And his message to his kids and his family and his friends and his spouse over the Christmas holidays was, I'll leave you with that.
Mike, thank you so much. I'm not going to get everybody to smile because we're doing a photo finish. Josh, Shane, if you can come back online just for a second or two.
Well, now Josh has to comb his hair.
Good, how are you?
Hey. All right, and so I'll take a quick so just look into the camera. Pearly whites. Perfect, thank you.
Got it.
And yeah. Awesome chat. Yeah. I'll close this off with a quote. And so to be truly positive in the eyes of some, you have to risk appearing negative in the eyes of others. Chris Jammy. So, Mike, that kind of resonates in with what you're saying. You may not be happy, but it's going to save you. So pay attention. Contextual awareness, or situational awareness, I should say.
I like that.